All right, I think we're live. I think we're live. Perfect. All right. Hello, everyone. So probably just forward it into the group. Hey, hey, everyone. All right, let's see here. So hopefully everyone's having a wonderful evening. We decided to do this questioning answering session, and we're going to answer any questions that you may have. Hopefully you all prepared for this, so we're just going to freestyle it, and we're going to go from there. What's going on, Ernest? How's it going over there?
Same old, same old. Watching this futures market move up higher and higher, but it's okay, hanging in there. What's up with you?
Same old. Kind of not watching the futures market right now because I'm going to
Mm,
get tempted to trade. So we projected that crude oil. We wanted to buy that. Anticipated the opening to be much higher than prior day's close.
yeah, it's doing its thing right now. So um, I know it's a holiday tomorrow, so usually it's not too much volume, but um, the market is just beasting right now. The market is really, really beasting. So like we mentioned before, guys, share this with other people. If you got any questions, how's our sound? Does our sound good? Does it sound good? Just want to make sure everybody can hear us correctly. Say yes, no. How does everything sound so far? All right, cool. All right, awesome. All right, great, great, great. So once again, if you're watching this video, we are the Profit Room. We talk about stocks, options, futures, forex, anything that has a chart. We trade it. This is what we do. We're full-time traders. What else? I can even think about. We help people learn how to trade the different financial markets. No matter what market it's in, we teach you how to trade it based off of primarily technical analysis. Uh, Technical analysis, if you're new to that, is more of the emotions of the market, the intrinsic value of a stock, if you know fundamentals, exposed on a actual chart. So that's how we primarily trade. And one of the things that sets us apart from many is we do trade live every single day. I mean, there are some people who do actually trade live, which is great, and things of that nature. And what we try to help people do is actually see it happen beforehand. One thing we notice is that in trading and investing, there's a lot of people, you can post charts, which is great, and you can talk about the after effect, which is amazing too. But anticipating it before it happens helps you build that, develop that skill for confidence to allow you to be a more of an advanced trader and more of a confident trader. And what we're doing this evening, if you have any questions and answers, I mean, questions about certain aspects of trading, um, just give us ask a certain question. A little bit about what I primarily do. That's what you tell her. Like I started off mostly trading gaps. I trade mid to large cap stocks, and so my criteria is any stock over $50 to now currently up to $350. And I will look for price action. That means movement. So gaps happen because of news in the market. It could be anything. Earnings. I don't trade the earnings. I don't do that. I trade the after effects of the earnings. It could be anything, and I look for price movement. So our trades can average 3, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, things of that nature. My goal as an individual trader is to spend less time in the market, to use the market for what it is and take it out and capitalize off of it. And that's what I primarily started trading doing, then moved more into some of the options, a little bit of Forex here and there, which is no problem. I trade Euro, USD, and GJ, British Pound, Japanese Yen. And now I'm primarily focusing a lot more on futures because of the economic conditions that the world is going through now between the governments and things of that nature. So try to be a little bit diverse. So that's what well, I primarily are focusing on now, and leveraging options heavy as much as possible in order for short-term movements, just like trading gaps. So that's why you want to tell them a little bit more.
I Yeah, so I started off trading penny stocks, believe it or not. So I was really into penny stocks, the pump and dumps. That's how I fell in love with shorting. And then right around, I would say 2011 into 2012, I kind of dropped the penny stocks. And one of the reasons for that is that I was introduced into trading mid to large cap by someone who traded at a prop firm. So I had this whole new criteria, and I started to understand the mechanisms now that, hey, I can lose less in terms of controlling my risk by trading mid to large cap stocks rather than trading thousands of shares in a penny stock. And if that thing moves 10, 20 cents against you, there goes a few grand. So it's all about, for me personally, being able to control my risk, and mid to large cap stocks suit that the best for me, in other words. So the range I trade would be probably from $20. I won't really say 10 because I haven't really found something $10 lately that would make me jump and trade it. So $20 to about, I usually try to cut it off at 200, but lately a lot of our favorite stocks, the Netflix, they're just super expensive now, Boeing. So we're going to trade up to like $350. So those are the stocks we primarily focus on. And like Ernest, that's how I found Ernest, because my style is gap. I trade the gaps. I trade the earnings reaction. And when I saw him trading, I'm like, oh, shoot, someone trades just like me. So we trade gaps together. So we utilize the first, sometimes few minutes of the market. We make our
Yep.
money and we're literally gone. So we're not sitting in the market all day, babysitting it. Literally just give us that first 40 minutes to an hour. Sometimes we're done in one trade and we'll stick around to entertain the room with other trade setups. But we capitalize within the first hour, mainly based on the strategy that we use. And more so, I would say the past 4 years, um, started trading Forex, but I'm not a day trader in the Forex markets. To me personally, coming from gap trading, Forex moves too slow for me. So I'll swing trade a position in Forex. I'll get nice size and I will hold it on a longer time frame. So I'll swing trade Forex, but I'll day trade the futures market with the members in our futures room, along with our moderator, Jason. So we trade daily, ES and Q. I love crude. Crude is my favorite commodity to trade. Sometimes I'll dabble in gold. We did lean hog, live cattle as well the other week. That was a great momentum to the downside. So, in a nutshell, that's what we do. We trade stocks, we trade the options, we trade Forex, we trade futures. You haven't heard us mention crypto because we can't trade all those markets at once, but yeah,
Yeah,
eventually in due time we may get into that. But right now, the the opportunities are endless in what we trade currently. So
yeah.
I seen a
Somebody asked,
question earlier. Someone asked about what was it?
somebody
It was
about
the
the,
futures
the,
course.
is it
Yeah,
self-paced?
yeah, no. So so you're going to see a transition within the website probably within this week. So it's going to change. This change have been in progress for a while. It was in progress, let's just say that, but it's getting ready to really take place. So currently, right now, if you go on the site, nothing self-paced. We mentor you. So there is a process where you get access to the site, you're learning on your own according to your schedule. And then there's a part where we provide you the homework assignment, you get that back to us, and then we meet with you. So the meeting aspect of it is not self-paced. That's where we're hand holding, we're answering your questions, and we're really making sure you understand the concepts. So, no. But access that next week, the answer is going to be yeah, that's self paced. But right now, no, it's mentorship.
Correct. I mean, there's always going to be an option for the mentorship, and that's one of the things that when Latoya and I started a business is that many people learn different. We understand that a lot of people just can't learn by just reading books and watching videos. You have your own way of comprehending certain things. And the only way we could find out how your brain works is through the one on one mentorship. And that's more beneficial for an individual trader because you don't know how many people that we do mentor and they say, "Oh, I know candlesticks, I know technical analysis. I've been trading for like 3 years." And as soon as they go through our candlestick course, they like, "Wow,
They're mind blown.
wow, I
Mm-hmm.
never even knew that. I never even knew that." Because everybody comprehends differently. But we felt that over the course of years, because we trade live every day and we're doing a lot more with the business. Um, and our stuff is extremely affordable for one-on-one mentorship, and you can ask our students. So we have to get rid of that. It'll be available, but it won't be available for the price that we have it. So after this week is going to be gone. A lot of stuff is going to be self-paced on your own, and you do have the opportunity to always trade with us with our groups that we do have in our rooms and things like that. But you guys look at the value of what you're paying, and you're getting an hour, sometimes an hour and a half or two, with one-on-one with an active trader. You can't put a price on that, especially one that we post live trades all the time. There's people in our room that sees that, so that will be going away, but mentorship will be there as well. Um, Somebody said, "How do you find the gaps?"
There was a question before that, how you set up an alert when you receive the alerts when they hit if you're not in front of your computer. It really depends on your platform. We use Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade, and there's a way that you can set up alerts, and we go through that actual process, and we'll go through that process with you as well. Um, and that alert, literally when you set it up, you give it a little cushion, maybe 20, 30 cents depending on what you're trading, so it can hit your email and hit your your text message at the same time. So even if you're not in front of the computer, you'll be on high alert that your alert hit, and you can make access on your phone to get in that trade because you already performed the analysis. So that's what we do with our alerts all the time if we're not sitting here physically. Um, Now, how do we find the gaps? Gaps are basically any stock that have news driven, um, anything news driven, anything that had reported earnings. A lot of the times we'll post the actual earnings calendar. There's a gentleman that's in our trading group that's on Facebook. He posted every single week. Those are the stocks we trade. Those are the gaps. Those are the reaction to the earnings reports. And then that's all we trade.
Hmm. After we have taken a technical analysis class, what is the next best class to take to maximize profit? I guess it depends on what class you've taken. Uh, I mean, any class that has one-on-one or anything that has what you're looking for. I mean, so a lot of people trade stocks or start with that because they're familiar with the 401k, their retirement, and they're able to follow that. But now the biggest trend now is options. Everybody's trading options because the cost effectiveness of getting in the trade. So anything related to that can be very, very good for you to actually participate in. Stocks or options is a good one, or if you want to step it up a notch, which is good, forex. I mean, futures or forex is a great one to do as well.
Someone asks, what's as a beginner, what's the market or what recommendations do you have for someone that has no experience in the field where to start? And we deal with a lot of beginners that had zero knowledge. I wish one of our members was on here right now. Zero knowledge, and to the point where they can actually build and be self-sufficient, independent, and capitalizing on the markets by themselves after what we taught. So everyone started as a beginner. I was once a beginner. Ernest was once a beginner. But it's the constant willingness to continuously study, especially what you learn, and then start to apply. So as a beginner, I would recommend just first dabbling in the CNBC app always, because that keeps you informed. They do drop a lot of news and stuff related to the markets, so that information is very important. And from there is just starting to probably understand the vocabulary of the actual markets. That's a good first step as well. Any suggestions, Ernest?
Yeah, any brand new person that starts, individual, anything that you decide, we're going to teach you like you're a beginner. It's no problem, like that. Like Latoya mentioned, the CNBC app. Following what's going on with the news. There's a lot of like Investopedia has a lot of terminology with certain things to get you familiarized with. What you get with us, you're going to get a course that's strategic to have you understand how to trade and invest the different financial markets. But at the same time, the more information that you get, the better it will benefit you because you'll start learning and picking up more terminology. We're giving you a structure on how to handle it, how to do it, how to participate in the market the safe way, keeping risk management as a priority. It is a new language to most, and that's why you can't rush the process. And I know somebody mentioned whoever's enrolled now, everything is still the same. It's no different. So don't worry about if you already enrolled, you still have the same mentorship. We're talking about going forward.
Someone also
Um,
asks in terms of what's the best course for beginners. Through my experience, I know everyone loves the stock market because that's what we mainly hear about: stock market, stock market, stock market. And there are components, there are different levels to the stock market. There's so much with the stock market. It is a good place in general, just so you can be on board with your peers or whatever business conversation you may have in the future, work related, etc. Um, but I find that there are easier markets because you're only dealing with that particular market. rather than the stock market and all what it has to offer. So, if I were to do it again and start again as a beginner, I would wish somebody introduced me to futures first. That's just me personally. What do you think, Ernest, about that?
See,
Mm,
I'll say 50-50 with that.
okay.
Like I would say options and like futures is a totally different market. And see, y'all know Latoya's aggressive, and she's all about catching that fast money because you'll make money crazy fast with futures. But to me, as an individual, how I learned, I like people to develop discipline first. I'm all about discipline. And any type of market that you get into, if you don't have or develop that discipline, you're not going to make it. And some people are born naturally with the discipline, or some people are born naturally with, hey, I just want to make that money. And sometimes that can actually throw you off. So, I mean, I'm not against that with the futures market, but at the same time, remember you have to build discipline first. Some people don't have that. So that's the thing. You can be in the market. We have students that make $200, right, in 5 minutes. Because when you trade oil, oil moves, it's $10 a penny. We'll say a tick. It
Hmm.
moves 10 cents, you make $100. That happens all day long, right? So you're a newbie, you might be up $200 or $300 fast, but you just can't take that money because you're not disciplined. Then before you know it, you're down 300 or 400. Or you had $200, but you didn't take it. Now you only have $20, and that messes with your psychology. So it's a great market to trade. That's why we traded a lot more, but you need to build that discipline. But if you know you're not a disciplined individual in the beginning, I will focus on the options and work your way up because it helps you build discipline. You wait a little bit longer, things like that. So
I agree with that thought process. I didn't even put discipline as a factor. See, that's
you
why I
should
need
have
you.
you should have then thought about that. These cats be out here hungry like that right away. Someone asks, how do you pick your options price, expiration date based on the stock chart so you determine if it's a good swing trade? So everything we determine is based off of technical analysis, primarily that. When you see our live trades, we're always anticipating. Shorter time frames is more for day trading, intraday. Longer time frames, right, are for bigger moves. So when I'm looking at a stock or a company, I'm looking to see how much I can get out of it for income or for a longer term play. And sometimes based on the setup, I may realize I only can get a longer time play out of it. It's always a different target. It's just like looking at your gas tank and you got a quarter tank. You know how far you can go on a quarter, you know how far you can go in a half. So that's like a chart. If it looks like a quarter tank, I'm only going a quarter tank. If I go in a half, I can go in further. So that's how I'm looking at. Oh, you like that, Latoya, right? You can. Yeah,
I
that
like
was that
that.
was
I like
official. You
that.
like that? Dag,
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs
dag.
up.
Oh man.
Jeez.
So, so that's how I'm looking at how I'm getting in the trade. But it's all visual to see how far you can go on that. So that's how I analyze a lot of my stuff. Short term and long term, it gets to the point where, and that's where the seat time comes in, and that's where the experience comes in with the one-on-one. A lot of the stuff you'll see that we do and we teach, sometimes it comes natural, and that's what we teach our students to try to develop it. A lot of stuff is reaction. It's like boom, 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 because you've seen it so many times, right? And our students are taught what to see. So they push all the flush out, they push all the analysis about what we say or what somebody else thinks, and they just go for it. They just go for it because that's what they see. So that's how we analyze a lot of the stuff that we do is based off of that. I'm trying to see. Did you trade Roku? I think you traded that, right? Or a shop for a long and a fake out. You trade Roku this week?
Yeah, we shorted Roku. We shorted Roku on
Short of
Friday.
Roku?
We made over 4K. Yeah, so Roku was a gap. Roku had earnings.
Short futures.
So that was a day trade for us, and probably 2 weeks ago we had it as our swing. So we swung trade Roku about 2 weeks ago on the downside.
Correct. Someone asked, how do you control your emotions while in the market wins or loss? So you want to answer that first, and I'll go second because you know how it
Um,
goes.
so with every trade, no matter what you're in. So, of course, we're talking about trading. We're not talking about long-term investing. So, trading in itself, you got to know what time frame you're trading on. Are you holding something for a swing? If you are, your stop loss or your risk should be predetermined in advance before you even enter that trade. So, that's a way to control your emotions. That's the only way, matter of fact, of controlling your
Mm-hmm.
emotion. Is the same thing as day trading. When Ernest and I are in a trade for the day, no matter what instrument, futures, stocks, we already know what we're willing to lose. We have that predefined stop loss based off of that chart at that specific time. We know our entry. So it takes the emotions completely out. The stop's in place. We're in it, it either goes in the direction and we got to think now, okay, where are we going to take profit? We're scaling out here, we're scaling out there. Or, oh crap, this trade wasn't ready and boom, it hits our stop. Emotionless trading because we don't care now because we already took the risk. Like, all right, if it went here, we got to get out because we're wrong. It's technical. So hopefully that helps. Stops, protect the emotions. Now, if you trade without stops, you're emotional wreck, period, because you don't know how to think at that point. Dag, this should do this. Now I'm going to add to this position. So you're reacting based off emotions rather than logic. So use your stops. Did I do that one right, Ernest?
No,
Yeah,
it's
a
all
little,
right.
just a little bit.
It's a little bit.
All right.
But
Help me out. Help me out.
my little add to it. The emotions that help out if you have a strategy. You got to have a strategy. And the thing is, that's the hardest thing we all battle because there's so many strategies. Like we just mentioned, there's gaps, there's short term, there's long term. If you're going in a trade and you're looking for, I'm gonna just give futures example. If you're looking for 20 or 30 ticks, right? With crude, that's $300 with one contract. You have to realize what you're willing to risk. With 10 ticks to make 30, you get out. That's your strategy. If you trade in stocks, right? If you're looking for 50 cents to a dollar on a move, right? So on average, the average professional trader is using about a minimum to 1,000 shares, 500 to 1,000 shares. So if you're looking for a 50-cent move, boom, 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 you're taking, you're starting to scale out. That's what you have your strategy for. There's no if and buts because you're taking that money. Same thing with options. There's some people that trade options. If you're looking for 30 or 40%, take the money. You know, many people show these crazy returns, which is great. 40, 80, 2, 3,000%, 500%. But how many shares, how many contracts did you have? How much money did you make? Are you doing it on a consistent basis? So that's what takes the emotions out in my thought process because sometimes we'll get out of trades and it still goes even higher and higher. You can make even more money, but the fact is that you have a consistency. So if you were risking, if you're exposing $4,000 or $5,000 of capital every trade in options and you're getting 30, 40%, just keep doing the same thing. Just doing the same thing. Forget what everybody else is posting that they made all of this. That don't have nothing to do with you. That's going to make you a better trader. That's going to make you level up even more. That's going to allow you to go 10, 20, 30 contracts while the other person is still doing one, two, or three. You get what I'm saying? Because you're taking the money and you're being consistent. So that's what helps me control that emotional side by being consistent on every trade that I do in order to bring the money into. It's not the big moves. You want to get the moves that are going to be consistent. That's the goal. Boom, boom, consistency. Um, Somebody asked, they said, what is your favorite trading indicator to use?
The only
My,
thing we use is moving averages. That's it.
yeah, I'm a candle guy, and
That's not an
Latoya is
indicator.
it's not an indicator.
No, they talk about the
So
RSIs, the MACDs, the
MACDs and
TCAT.
all that, no, I
We
don't
don't
use
use
that.
none of that. We keep it
And,
simple. We use moving averages to solidify trend. That's about it.
and see, that's the difference, right? You have to look at that. Now that's the difference between driving a manual and the automatic. I know there's a lot of algos out here, there's a lot of bots, there's a lot of computers, there's a lot of all of that. But a lot of that stuff slows you down, which I'm not against any of it. And that's what a lot of people learn. Um, you learn different strategies, you learn different indicators, learn different things, which is great. And a lot of those programs work, and I'm for all of that. But we focus on why it happened and why it's doing this. And that goes back to the raw ingredients. The raw ingredients are the candles, right? The raw ingredients of the candles. You can give Latoya and I both a chart on any platform, Thinkorswim, Fidelity, E-Trade, it doesn't matter. And we'll still be able to trade off of a chart with just candles only. And not saying that that's the best way to trade, but that's how we trade, and teach our students how to trade. So you don't have to rely on some of the lagging indicators, right? That happen. But I'm not against indicators. I'm not against algos. I'm not against any of that stuff. I'm just showing you what somebody asks us a question is always the candles first, and that's what our students learn. Our students learn how to trade off of naked charts first before anything else is added, because we train them and think, and not to rely. Oh, that was good too, right? See, think, and not to rely. Yeah, I'm on the roll. What else we got going on here? More questions. Yeah, we still offer the swing trading program. The swing trading program is a great way to start as well. Anything that you feel that's going to build discipline, we always recommend. Swing trading allows you patience in order to see what's actually going to take place. So,
All right.
Latoya,
So
you want to?
we're gonna answer the question with the swing trading to start out. Will you still offer this program? Yeah, everything. We're not changing anything in terms of the actual programs. It's more so about the structure and how the programs are. So the content is going to remain, and we're actually going to add to the content. So nothing's going to change. But what we're also going to do, um, Kevin unfortunately had to step out, so he couldn't join this live. But there's a few people that DM'd him asking about when are we going to do the next live group class. So everything on our site is individual based. We specialize in that one-on-one mentorship, but every now and then, maybe twice a year. I think last year we did 3 classes. So we hold group classes outside of what we offer one-on-one. So our next group class, so group, not just individual. We're going to hold it is when is it? March. So we're going to do it in March. So the class is going to start in March, I believe specifically the 8th. So March 8th. So it's going to be a combination of stocks and options. You can't trade options without understanding or learning about the stocks and how stocks work in order to buy or sell your options. So we're going to offer a stock and option live group class, and we're going to drop the link, and that's going to be
Put it
for
in there.
beginners as well. Um, so that would be the first group class of the year. And the second group class we'll offer is probably going to come later on in the year. Everyone's been asking us to bring back the Forex Live group class. We got great feedback from that class. That class was amazing. So that's going to be announced much, much later on, but we're going to drop this class. Any other questions going forward?
So basically, this class what we do is live. How many Sundays is it?
It's 4 Sundays total.
So we put the link. We put the link in there. It's 4 Sundays going forward, and uh,
They
what we're
get,
gonna.
yeah, they also get within that class, after the class ends, they also get 3 weeks access to how the actual swing trades and the option works through our alerts that we send out weekly.
Mhm. So it's just a great class. You know, we got a jet in a little bit, but that's the whole thing. Just take advantage of it. The link is in there. You have to check everything out. So what we'll do is, any questions, you can always email us right at the Profit Room, but just check out the link there, and we'll look forward for you guys, and we'll send another video out or email blast to give you more information about it. So if you want to join our live class, we look forward to seeing you guys there. So as always, take care, trade safe, and we'll see you
All
in the
right,
profit.
everyone. Later.
Take care.